A time that I felt like I was being heard was when I was making my college decisions. And the reason is because I wanted to go to a certain school, but my parents wanted me to stay close to home. But it was just a conversation where we had to see both point of views and seeing what was best for me, and I felt like the best was moving away from home just to start like fresh and like know about a new environment, like an environment that I'm not used to. My self-esteem did grow just because since I have Hispanic parents, like they're very hard-headed to understand or like see your point of view. And I don't think this affected my relationship with my parents, but it actually made it stronger. And the reason is because we were able to see like how it benefits me, and it just made us grow together. And I feel like this is very similar with like a lot of parents and like certain ages, just because like they have had you at home, like they raised you, and like they don't want you to go away, like they don't want to see you grow up, but like at the same time like they want the best for you in your future. And I feel like most parents still go through this, and we just have we just have to act the way we were raised and not change and not forget like where we come from. I feel like it all comes together. And this connects to like a part of the book, and it says, naturally feeling ashamed and insignificant does not help us get what we ultimately want, to be accepted, to be heard. Instead, we may grow resentful and develop a passive or aggressiveness attitude. Whereas passivity will keep us stuck in our negative space, aggression can erode our integrity and relationship, leading to feelings of guilt, low self esteem, and loneliness. Assertiveness is the effect middle ground here. The tool in part 2 will help you learn how to respond to negatively as well as how to better manage your own emotions. In the book, Did You Hear Me? Or Obstacles to Listen. In the book, a quote that really stood out to me was, "It's a simple fact of life. We all want to be listened to. When we are given the gift of another's attention, we feel important, we feel valid, we feel loved." And the reason this stood out to me is because I feel like when you're in a relationship, you really want to be heard. Like you want to hear your point of view and like your partner's point of view. And just knowing that you have that bond really stands out. And I feel like that's what most people like look for, like the type of listener you are. Just because like when you're in a relationship, like any type of relationship, you always want to be heard out. Like you always want that person to ask you like how's your day, and like just sit there and listen to each other and just talk about anything. And I feel like that's an important, like it's the best attention that like us as humans get, and it does make us feel loved. Like it just has so much connections of like, but once again, like this is like my point of view, because there are some people like get loved or feel loved like in a certain way, and maybe it's not listening for them. Another quote that stood out to me, it is in Regulate Your Emotions, where it says, when you experience strong emotions, we tend to react impulsively. This can get in the way of listening and can color our communication. We might yell, cry, exhibit aggressiveness body language, or say hurtful things to the people we care about. We might burn bridges with the friends or business partners. And I really connect to this because so my mom's that type of people like who like say things that they don't mean, like when they're angry at the moment. So I feel like there this really like brought up like my thoughts of like why this happens, and it made me realize like I should have patience with her. Like she has gotten better with it over the years, but like I feel like there's times where like she just can't, and mostly when I'm far away, like it's harder for her. But like she tries to like keep calm and not like say things that she might not mean because they are hurtful. But at the same point, like this is maybe like her way of caring, but like it also affects each other and our bond. I do agree with the author Nixley. We must one listen to ourselves, value ourselves, suspend our needs, regard our emotions for our assumptions, and the reason is for me when it's final weeks, this is what I do. Like I listen to myself, I value my time, I see where my emotions are at, and normally when I need to talk to someone or I engage with someone, like my feelings will be good at the moment just because it is what I need. Like I feel like I need to talk to someone to feel better just because of all that stress and like just like my mental state. And this sometimes leads to like some alone time. Like there's days where like I don't want to be bothered or like I am just focused on one thing, and that's reaching my goal. Another example is like personally, like maybe just because this is me, but I normally ghost people for a couple days, and the reason I do this is like my way of self care where it's just like days with me. Like I value like the nature. I see the sunset. Like it's just me and alone time, and I feel like this really like helps me with my own emotions because it just lets me be independent. Like I feel like at this point this is like my strongest point where like I don't let people or like I feel like I don't need people to be there for me emotionally. Based on chapter 2, me and my partner Grace Sanchez decided to take a test. And we were both surprised on the scores that we have received. So her scores were self awareness, she got a 4, self management, she got a 5, social awareness, she got an 8, and relationship management, she got a 7. And my scores were self awareness 6, self management 7, social awareness 9, relationship management 4. So while we were both talking about it, we both found it surprising how we got these results. But we also noticed like the differences that I had a higher score than her from self awareness to social awareness, and she had a higher score on relationship management. A big reason of the social relationship was that she was telling me she has a job and she like has to deal with people, and I feel like for me in the other hand, like I don't really like have management or like I don't manage relationships, but that is one thing that I was planning to work on while I was here at TSUMB. I'm still planning to grow in that, but I feel like we both noticed like there's always for improvement, and hopefully by the end of this class we both improve in separate ways. Now be reading a poem called The Beauty of Things by Robinson Jefferson. The beauty of to feel and speak the astonishing beauty of things, earth, stone, and water, beast, man, and woman, sun, moon, and stars. The bloodshot beauty of human nature, its thoughts, frenzies, and passions. And human nature is tolerating reality, for men's half dream. Men, you might say, it's nature's dreaming, but rocks and water and sky are consistent. To feel greatly and understood greatly and express the nature beauty, so business of poetry. The rest diversion, those holy and noble sentiments, the indicate ideas, the love, lust, longing, but not the reason. The reason I chose this poem is because of the title, The Beauty of All Things, but also while reading it, it made me realize like we have so many things that we don't appreciate. A line that stood out to me was greatly and understood greatly and expressed greatly the nature. This really stood out to me just because we as people don't go out to nature as often as we should and not appreciate things. But just because we're stuck on our phones doesn't mean that we can take a break off our phones and go out and see how much this world has or like view new places. We should be realizing how much the world gives to us instead of being stuck inside a place where we see every day. Another line that was very nice was the rest diversion, the holy and noble sentiments that indicates idea, the love lost, longing results, but not the reason. I feel like that really had a lot of meaning because it started with love lost longing and then it ended with but not the reason. I feel like this was trying to say like no matter when you have all of this, like if you don't love someone like or something, like you shouldn't look at beauty just because it looks nice. Like there should be a reason behind it, and if there isn't, then there isn't a point of giving it love, lust, and longing.